beginning, based on Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. Welcome to Meaning Within, the podcast that explores how we can find purpose, even in the darkest corners of life. In this first episode, we begin the journey of Viktor Frankl, a man who discovered meaning not in comfort, but in suffering. Frankl was a psychiatrist from Vienna. In 1942, his life changed completely when he and his family were deported to Nazi concentration camps. He lost everything: his home, his parents, his wife, and even the manuscript of a book he had written for years. He arrived at Auschwitz with nothing left but his mind, his heart, and his will to survive. Frankl quickly realized that life inside the camp was built on one cruel idea: to erase human identity. The guards took away names and gave numbers. Prisoners were stripped naked, their hair shaved, their clothes replaced with rags. Everything that made them feel human was removed. But inside this world of suffering, Frankl began to observe something profound. While many people lost all hope, others somehow managed to stay alive, not just physically, but spiritually. He wanted to understand why. Why did some prisoners give up and die quickly while others endured unimaginable pain and still found a reason to live? Frankl's answer became one of the most powerful ideas in modern psychology. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms: to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. In other words, even when we can't control what happens to us, we can still control how we respond. Imagine that, surrounded by death, hunger, and humiliation, Frankl discovered the one thing that could never be stolen: inner freedom. It's not freedom from pain, but freedom within pain. Frankl noticed that those who survived often had something to live for: a vision, a goal, a loved one waiting for them. They had a why, and that why gave them strength. He often quoted Nietzsche: "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." For example, some prisoners told Frankl they dreamed of reuniting with their children, or returning to their work, or finishing something they had started before the war. Others found meaning simply in helping their fellow prisoners survive another day. Frankl himself found purpose in observing these behaviors, in understanding the human spirit even when it was most broken. He later wrote that suffering by itself is meaningless. But once we give it a purpose, once we find meaning through it, it transforms. Suffering stops being only pain and becomes a test of courage. It becomes a chance to show who we truly are. So what does this mean for us today? Most of us will never face conditions like a concentration camp, but we all experience loss, disappointment, or moments when life feels out of control. In those times, Frankl's lesson still applies. You may not be able to change your situation, but you can change your response to it. Think about it. What's something in your life right now that feels unbearable or unfair? What if, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you asked, "What can I learn or give through this?" That small shift in perspective is the beginning of finding meaning. Frankl believed that even in suffering, we can say yes to life. He wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." That idea became the foundation of logotherapy, the therapy of meaning, which we'll explore in later episodes. But here, in this first story, it begins with a man standing in a place designed to destroy hope, and yet discovering that hope is stronger than despair. In the next episode of Meaning Within, we'll dive deeper into how hope, even the smallest spark, could decide whether someone lived or died in the camp. We'll learn how Frankl saw meaning not as a luxury, but as a necessity for survival. Until then, remember, your attitude, your choices, and your meaning are yours alone, and no one can take them from you.